Could Donald Trump be making a comeback to the White House? A question that is as unsettling as it is intriguing. It's a question that has emerged from the ashes of an unsuccessful attempt to reverse the 2020 election results, followed by a removal from office in January 2021. Yet despite facing numerous criminal proceedings and lawsuits, Trump's voice has been growing louder. His popularity remains unscathed among the Republicans. He leads the polls ahead of the incumbent, and the whispers of his return to the White House are growing stronger. This is happening even as he is embroiled in numerous civil cases. Observers across the nation are considering these signs as potential indicators of a powerful comeback. Trump has resources, influence, and a significant portion of the American population that still supports him. But what are the driving forces behind this possible resurgence? Are the perceived weaknesses of the Biden administration contributing to this? Is it the discontent with the current state of the economy? Or is it a testament to the enduring charisma of Trump himself? These questions are as complex as they are crucial to understanding the current political climate. So let's delve into the chronology of events that signal Trump's potential comeback. January 2021 marked the end of Donald Trump's presidency. His term was a period of intense controversy, marked by his unconventional approach to politics. However, the climax came during the aftermath of the 2020 presidential election, when Trump attempted to reverse the election results, sowing seeds of doubt among his followers and shaking the very foundation of America's democratic process. In the face of defeat, Trump refused to concede, instead launching a series of legal challenges that were ultimately unsuccessful. His insistence on the existence of widespread voter fraud, despite a lack of substantial evidence, was echoed by his supporters, but met with skepticism by courts across the country. This period was characterized by rallies, speeches, and a barrage of tweets, all aimed at discrediting the electoral process. Trump's actions culminated in the shocking events of January 6th, when his supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol building in an unprecedented attack on American democracy. Following these events, Trump faced impeachment for a second time, accused of inciting an insurrection. Though he was acquitted by the Senate, the impeachment marked a significant blow to his reputation. His actions during this time resulted in his removal from social media platforms, further isolating him from the public sphere. And yet, after his departure from the White House, Trump's influence did not wane. Despite facing numerous legal challenges and criminal investigations into his business dealings, he continued to shape the political landscape. He remained a key figure for the Republican Party, his endorsements sought after by candidates across the country. Despite his removal, Trump remained a potent force in American politics. His downfall did not signify an end, but rather a shift in his political journey. Now, as we look ahead, we must ask ourselves, what role will Trump play in the future of American politics? Trump's exit from the White House was far from the end of his challenges. In fact, it served as the beginning of a new chapter of legal battles, putting him in the crosshairs of the judiciary. The Supreme Court's refusal to block the release of Trump White House documents to the House January 6th committee was a notable legal setback. This decision allowed the committee to delve deeper into the events leading up to and during the Capitol attack, casting a shadow over Trump's attempts to shield his involvement. With the court's ruling, the documents, which include schedules, speech and call logs, and handwritten notes from Mark Meadows, the former White House chief of staff, were open to scrutiny. Another legal blow to Trump came from the New York Attorney General's office, which uncovered potentially misleading or fraudulent financial statements from the Trump Organization. This investigation brought Trump's business practices under the microscope, adding a layer of complexity to his legal woes. Then there's the matter of Trump's relationship with Fox News. Recent revelations have shown that Fox's Sean Hannity served as a sort of shadow chief of staff, blurring the lines between the media and the Trump administration. These revelations have sparked interest in the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack, potentially opening another can of worms for Trump. Add to this mix a slew of civil cases filed against him, and it becomes clear that Trump's legal landscape is fraught with challenges. Each of these cases, in their own way, put Trump's actions both during and after his presidency under the judicial microscope. Yet, in the face of all this, Trump's political influence remains undiminished. His popularity within the Republican Party and among his staunch supporters hasn't waned. In fact, some might argue that these legal battles have only added to his image as a political outsider battling the system. This raises questions about the role of the judiciary in holding political leaders accountable and the public's perception of these legal processes. Even amidst these legal battles, Trump's political influence remains undiminished. The potential for a comeback, despite the lawsuits and investigations, speaks volumes about the enduring appeal of Trump's brand of politics. Despite all odds, Trump remains a favorite among Republicans. It's a testament to the strength of his personality, the power of his brand, and the loyalty of his base. His charisma, his bravado, and his unfiltered discourse, as controversial as they may be, have struck a chord with many Americans who felt unheard and unrepresented. In the wake of his departure from the White House, Trump's popularity didn't wane as some predicted. Instead, he maintained a firm grip on the Republican Party, influencing its direction and discourse. Many Republicans still see him as a figurehead and a force to rally behind, a symbol of resistance against what they perceive as an overreaching government and a liberal agenda. Polls suggest that Trump is not just a favorite among Republicans, but is also leading over the incumbent. This isn't a simple case of nostalgia or blind loyalty. Many of Trump's supporters genuinely believe in his policies and his vision for America. They see him as a champion of their values, someone who isn't afraid to stand up for what they believe in. Of course, it's worth noting that popularity is a fickle thing, especially in politics. It can be influenced by a myriad of factors, from economic conditions to global events, from media narratives to personal scandals. However, Trump's popularity has proven to be resilient, weathering storm after storm, controversy after controversy. His continued popularity, despite the legal battles and the impeachment, is a testament to his ability to connect with a significant segment of the American population. It's also a reflection of the deep divisions in American society, the polarization of politics, and the power of identity and ideology in shaping people's perceptions and preferences. This popularity signals a possible return to the White House. Whether this will come to pass remains to be seen. It will depend on a myriad of factors, from the political climate to the outcome of the lawsuits and investigations he is currently facing. But one thing is clear: Trump's influence on American politics is far from over. Whether he returns to the White House or not, his impact will continue to be felt for years to come. The current state of the American economy is a key driving force behind Trump's potential comeback. As we dive into this, it's important to understand the economic dissatisfaction brewing among many Americans. President Biden's administration has repeatedly asserted the health of the American economy, citing falling inflation rates and other macroeconomic metrics. However, these figures often fail to paint the full picture for the average American. While economists may celebrate a drop in inflation from its peak in June 2022 to 3.2% in October of the same year, many Americans remain skeptical. This skepticism is particularly prevalent among the younger generation, those who are just starting to grapple with the realities of taxation and economic responsibility. For them, macroeconomic figures are distant, abstract concepts. What matters more is the price of essentials, the cost of owning a car or a home, and the financial burden of caring for children or elderly relatives. In this context, the Biden administration's focus on macroeconomic indicators can feel out of touch with the everyday struggles of many Americans. This disconnect is something that Trump, with his emphasis on economic stability and prosperity, could potentially leverage to his advantage. Public opinion surveys suggest that a significant number of Americans believe the Republican Party, and by extension Trump, is better suited to handle the economy. This perception is often emphasized in Trump's campaigns, resonating with many who feel their economic concerns are not adequately addressed by the current administration. Moreover, issues such as crime and illegal immigration, which are often linked to economic stability, are high on the list of concerns for many Americans. Trump's rhetoric on these issues, coupled with his economic promises, could potentially galvanize support among those who are dissatisfied with the current state of affairs. In a country that is becoming increasingly multicultural, economic concerns are often intertwined with fears about changing societal norms and demographic shifts. Trump's appeal to traditional American values and his promise of economic stability could speak to these fears, further driving his potential comeback. So while many factors are at play in the complex landscape of American politics, the economic discontent among many Americans is a significant factor that could potentially fuel Trump's return. Trump's emphasis on economic stability resonates with many Americans, further fueling his potential comeback. Public sentiment plays a crucial role in any election. It's the pulse of the nation, the collective voice of millions expressing their hopes, fears, and aspirations. In the realm of politics, it is this public sentiment that often decides the rise or fall of a political figure. Now let's turn our attention to the public opinion polls. They paint a picture of a populace weary of economic instability, and it's here that we see a potential advantage for Trump. The polls indicate a preference for the Republican Party's handling of economic issues. This perception isn't formed in a vacuum. It's the result of a public grappling with the cost of essentials, the price of cars and houses, and the expenses of child and elderly care. Trump, with his business background, has often emphasized on economic prosperity, a message that seems to resonate with many. But it's not just the economy that's on the minds of the American people. Concerns about crime rates and illegal immigration also feature prominently, issues which Trump has consistently highlighted in his rhetoric. These public sentiments present a backdrop against which Trump's potential return to the White House needs to be viewed. The American public is expressing their concerns, and if they believe that Trump is the one to address them, it could significantly bolster his chances. But it's important to remember, the public sentiment is not a fixed entity. It's a fluid, ever-changing landscape, molded by events, policies, and the actions of those in power. While Trump may currently enjoy a favorable public opinion, the tides of sentiment can shift rapidly and unpredictably. However, as it stands now, with public opinion in his favor, Trump's return to the White House becomes a more tangible possibility. It's a thought that stirs a mix of emotions in the heart of the American public, a blend of anticipation, apprehension, hope, and concern. And it's this public sentiment that will ultimately play a pivotal role in the unfolding political drama. Despite numerous criticisms, Trump continues to enjoy immense support. It's an undeniable fact that weaves its thread throughout the fabric of modern American politics. Regardless of the objections, the legal battles, and the polarized climate, Trump's loyal base remains unshaken, and their voices echo loudly, resonating in every corner of the country. These millions of Americans form the backbone of Trump's enduring popularity. Their unwavering loyalty, often against the tide of mainstream opinion, is a testament to the personal connection they feel with Trump. They see him not just as a political figure, but as a symbol of their own discontent, their hopes, their aspirations, and their defiance. Even in the face of opposition from within his own party, Trump's supporters stand by his side. They are not swayed by the voices of dissenting Republicans who question his fitness for office. Instead, they view these criticisms as further proof of Trump's outsider status, an aspect that initially drew them to his campaign and continues to fuel their support. Similarly, the disapproval voiced by Democrats does not deter them. They perceive it as a natural reaction from a party that differs in ideology and approach. For them, this opposition only strengthens their resolve to back Trump, to champion the issues they believe in and the changes they want to see in their country. The real power of Trump's support base lies in its diversity. It spans across demographic lines, uniting people from various walks of life under a common banner. From blue-collar workers to corporate executives, from rural dwellers to city inhabitants, from staunch conservatives to disenchanted liberals. Trump's appeal transcends the usual political boundaries. This broad-based support, coupled with Trump's knack for captivating his audience, creates a potent political force. It's a force that could potentially overcome the challenges and obstacles that stand in the way of his return to the White House. It's a force that, despite all odds, keeps the possibility of a Trump comeback alive. This unwavering support could very well pave the way for Trump's return to the White House. It's a prospect that continues to shape the political landscape, keeping Trump at the forefront of conversations and debates, and reminding us all of the remarkable resilience of his support base. The possibility of Trump's return to the White House is a complex issue. We've explored a multitude of factors that could potentially shape the outcome of this situation. Trump's legal battles, for instance, are a significant aspect to consider. Despite facing numerous lawsuits and criminal proceedings, he remains a formidable force within the Republican Party, and these legal challenges have yet to deter his ambitions. Trump's popularity among Republicans is another critical point. His charisma and his ability to connect with the party's base have maintained his political relevance. This, coupled with the lack of a clear Republican frontrunner to succeed him, bolsters the prospects of his return. The state of the American economy is another potent driving force. We've seen widespread discontent, particularly regarding inflation and the cost of essential items. Trump's emphasis on economic stability during his campaign resonates with many who are dissatisfied with the current economic climate. Public perception, too, plays a crucial role. Surveys suggest that a significant portion of the American populace views the Republican Party, and by extension Trump, as a better custodian of the economy. Furthermore, concerns about crime and immigration, which were central themes of Trump's previous campaigns, continue to be pressing issues for many Americans. Trump's continued support from his loyal base is another factor that cannot be ignored. Despite criticism from both sides of the political aisle, Trump's supporters remain fervent, viewing him as a champion of their values and concerns. In the end, the power to decide Trump's political future lies in the hands of the American people. The signs of a potential Trump comeback are indeed there, but the actual outcome will be determined by a multitude of factors, many of which are in constant flux. Whether Trump will indeed make a comeback remains to be seen, but the signs are certainly there.